Belgium's government has been left in deadlock following the high-profile mandate resignation of the coalition negotiator.
Travellers will have to be patient at airports again from next month as Brussels reverses its approval of new generation scanners at baggage checks.
Efforts to form a government in Belgium have stalled as the politician appointed to reach consensus on the coalition has resigned from the mandate. But De Wever led the Flemish National Party that won the most votes at the recent election and was tasked with forming a coalition. The Belgian royal palace confirmed on social media that King Philippe accepted De Wever's resignation on Thursday following a 19-minute discussion at the Palais Royal. Flemish media reports that before vacating the mandate, De Wever failed to find consensus among the five parties to agree to key Belgian policy planks, such as capital gains taxes. According to the royal statement, King Philippe will meet the party leaders to discuss other possible majorities. Belgium needs to form a government to file a federal budget to the European Commission by September 20. The country's longest period of running without an elected government was 592 days.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has made his first visit to the border area since his forces launched a surprise offensive into Russia's Kursk region earlier this month. Speaking to the country's top military commander Alexander Siersky, Zelensky said new prisoners of war would help build an exchange fund to swap for captured Ukrainians. He also said Ukrainian forces had captured another village in Kursk but didn't name it. Zelensky said last week that Ukraine has no plans to occupy the area long term, but wants to create a buffer zone to prevent further attacks from that area into Ukraine. Meanwhile, a Ukrainian drone strike targeted the Marinovka airbase in Volgograd. The region's governor confirmed that a defense ministry facility had been attacked with drones and said there had been no casualties. Outside Moscow on Thursday, Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke about the situation with governors of regions bordering Ukraine. Putin claimed that Ukraine had attempted to strike the Kursk nuclear power plant.
Международное агентство по атомной энергии проинформировано. Они обещают сами приехать, прислать специалистов для оценки ситуации. Надеюсь, что в конце концов это будет с их стороны сделано.
And in Washington, U.S. officials said the Biden administration will send about $125 million in new military aid to Ukraine. The latest package will reportedly include air defense missiles, HIMARS munitions, and counter-electronic warfare systems.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he supports Ukraine's territorial sovereignty and integrity. Modi directed the comments, spoken through a translator, to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on a highly anticipated trip to the Ukrainian capital. The Indian leader also expressed desire to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine. Modi said the only way of resolving problems is through dialogue and through diplomacy. I assure you that for all those efforts being made towards peace, India is ready to make its proactive contribution. Zelensky wrote on social media that Modi's comments are important as everyone in the world must respect the UN Charter. According to Indian authorities, Ukraine's peace formula discussed between Modi and Zelensky includes the withdrawal of Russian troops. Ukrainian and Indian officials billed the visit as a means of boosting the country's economic and diplomatic ties following a trip by Modi to Russia.
The body of the last missing person from the super yacht that sunk off the coast of Sicily has been found in the wreckage, according to the Italian Coast Guard. A woman's body was detected on Friday. She has not yet been identified, but Hannah Lynch, the 18-year-old daughter of British tech magnate Mike Lynch, is reportedly missing. The Lynch family was aboard the British-flagged yacht, which went down in a storm early Monday. Civil protection officials said they believe the ship was struck by a tornado over the water, known as a waterspout, and sank quickly. Mike Lynch's body was recovered on Thursday. He had been celebrating his recent acquittal on fraud charges with his family and the people who had defended him at trial in the United States. His wife Angela Baccaris was among the 15 survivors.
The debate between efficiency and security has returned to European airports. Brussels has reversed its approval of new generation C3 scanners at baggage screening. From the 1st of September, airports will have to revert to the X-ray model, which requires electronic devices in containers with liquids of more than 100 millilitres to be removed from suitcases. Passengers' reactions have been mixed.
El sistema de ahora de no tener que sacar líquidos y demás, pues me facilita bastante la entrada al aeropuerto y puedo ir con 20 minutos menos de antelación, ¿no?
The new machines that they added, where you don't have to take everything out, is very convenient because you just keep everything inside and you just go right through. It's faster.
I like the security of going through the checkpoint, so I don't mind it if it takes another 10 minutes. It's nice.
The new C3 technology scanners can display detailed three-dimensional high-resolution images of the inside of luggage, so it's not necessary to extract the contents. The European Commission has justified the move after a technical report that found that the equipment can't detect explosive material in liquids larger than 330 millilitres, so security won't be guaranteed. Brussels has made it clear that the decision is a purely technical matter and not a response to a specific threat. But the measure has not gone down well with airports that have invested in this new technology, which is up to 8 times more expensive and difficult to maintain than traditional scanners. They're worried about financial losses and delays at checkpoints. It's unclear when the restrictions on the new scanners will be lifted, but travellers in a hurry will have to be patient at checkpoints from next month.
Around 100 delivery drivers working for the Amazon subcontractor KM Group have been collectively dismissed via WhatsApp. The drivers were informed via text message that the company had gone bankrupt, leaving them without July's salary. They also say they haven't received the necessary forms to be able to apply for unemployment benefit.
Ça fait un mois sans pas de salaire. Comment je fais moi avec ma banque pour payer le crédit? La banque, elle veut chaque fin de mois, elle veut son argent. Il faut payer le crédit. Mais s'il n'y a pas de revenu qui vient, comment on fait?
C'est difficile pour nous. C'est assez difficile pour nous. De se trouver sans rien du tout, d'un coup. Et on ne sait pas quoi faire.
Unions say KM Group's bankruptcy was filed after the US online retail giant Amazon refused to renegotiate the terms of the contract. They also slammed the way the workers were sacked. While KM Group should have immediately started bankruptcy proceedings in court, a union representative said the company's balance sheet still hasn't been officially submitted.
On voulait sensibiliser, c'est la population qui achète via Internet des choses sur Amazon ou d'autres. C'est que derrière le bouton Enter, quand ils appuient sur Enter, on met en place toute une machine où des travailleurs travaillent parfois dans des conditions inacceptables.
Unions say KM Group has confirmed it doesn't have the funds available to pay the dismissed staff the wages they are owed. Blood supplies have been flown between 2 hospitals by drone in a trial the company behind the scheme hopes will be rolled out across the country. 5 identical blood packs made the 68-kilometre journey from the Wansbeck Hospital to Alnwick Infirmary and back again in the northern county of Northumberland. The trial flight could offer the solution to how to deliver vital blood to hospitals quickly and easily.
In this particular trial, we flew 10 packs of red blood cells with NHS Blood and Transplant and drove 10 identical packs and essentially, on the other end, analysed those in the laboratory and proved that there was no difference between the 2 packs, which means that delivering it by drone is a safe method of transport.
Around 5,000 bags of blood are needed every day in the UK for transfusions and operations, but donors and patients are often miles apart. The trials are aimed at getting approval to use drone transportation in the UK.
And this could be really a great breakthrough for trying to get blood across areas where it's difficult to get through. So thinking about in the middle of London with traffic, actually using a drone would be much quicker.
While the drone trials have so far been well received, a full-scale rollout of the scheme would need to be approved by the Civil Aviation Authority.
Kamala Harris pledged her ongoing support for Ukraine's war against Russia on Thursday as she officially accepted the Democratic nomination to run for president in November's election. She criticized Republican candidate Donald Trump's past comments on the war in her speech.
Trump, on the other hand, threatened to abandon NATO. He encouraged Putin to invade our allies, said Russia could, quote, do whatever the hell they want.
Harris reaffirmed her support for NATO, which has been helping Ukraine fight the war for nearly 2.5 years.
5 days before Russia attacked Ukraine, I met with President Zelensky to warn him about Russia's plan to invade. I helped mobilize a global response over 50 countries to defend against Putin's aggression. And as president, I will stand strong with Ukraine and our NATO allies.
There was no shift in position from the Biden administration on Israel, with Harris saying she would always defend America's key ally, but she said it was time to end the more than 10-month war in Gaza. Harris also blasted Trump for cozying up to tyrants like North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Voters in the United States head to the polls on November the 5th.